really good pop of mushrooms. So I'm looking for mainly one variety, but there's a couple others that could be out. So see what we can get back with. All right, I am just getting into the edge of the patch that I pick. Pretty high elevation, but let's have a first look. It's the first day out this year, and all it takes is a little bit of wind, a little bit of rain, and cold weather. And so, for you people that have never picked pine mushrooms, or maybe you have, you know the excitement of seeing bumps. So let's take a look. We got some bumps right here. These big mounds. I can tell you right now that they're probably not. Some old russulas. And you want to check all the bumps and not digging up the ground. Just poke your finger in. You feel a mushroom and you have a look. But don't disturb the ground too much. We got some more bumps right here. What do we got? There we go. Look at that. First pine mushrooms of the season right here. 2 of them. So with pine mushrooms, usually where there's a couple, you'll find more. So whether it's bumps or, you know, they're way underground, or, you know, it could be just a one-off where you get a couple. But usually where you find some, you'll find more. Not every time, but so real easy. Give it a pick. Just feel like these have been growing for a bit, but they're still buttons. So these are your highest quality mushroom. They're worth the most money. They taste the best. You know, they're good little mushrooms. Let's see, got another little bump right here. And feel around. Nothing there. But yeah, I mean, we're just getting into the spot, so I got a lot of ground to cover. So yeah, I'll check back. Let's have a look. I've been picking this area for over 10 years, so typically I know the spots where the mushrooms really like to be. And but sometimes it surprises you and puts out a few in places maybe you hadn't found them, but for the most part in here, this patch is pretty predictable. Something over there. And yeah. Let's see what we got. Nope. Just easy poke in the ground. Not damaging anything or fully digging. So, there we go. There's one there. And some of these too, like, they feel pretty firm. You'll still find some that are opened up. I think there's some more over there. And those will be the summer flush mushrooms. And because of how hot and dry it's been, they're probably all gonna be wormed out. So when you squeeze the stalk, you'll feel it cracking, and they'll be significantly lighter. Those will be summer flush mushrooms. And I mean, they're just kind of like an early bump of what you might find. But if the conditions are right, you can find a good little, you know, little burst of summer mushrooms. Let's have a little peek around. There's some mushrooms cracking over there under a log. I see some more. So if you see what I'm looking at, well, you can't see with this camera. So we got a couple over here. This is fully. Coolest thing for me about picking out here is I've been picking in these areas for like over 10 years, and the plants just keep growing, and it's cool because, you know, little tiny cedar trees and stuff that I've been walking around for years are growing, and it's just kind of cool. So there's a couple right there. Nice little mushroom. Just clean that off. And you know, if you're picking commercially, you know, that's about as small as you want to go. It's, any smaller than that, and you're pulling up what's called babies. And you know, it doesn't take these mushrooms very long to grow, so just leave it for a few more days and come back, and it'll be quite a bit larger. So right here, I think these are a couple right here, I think. Yeah, see? So there's a button. There's a button. This one looks a little bit, you know, they got rained on a bit. Dog's on watch. Good dog. Cashew here's 7. She's been mushroom picking since she was 6 months old. So she knows what's going on. Hey Cashew, come here. Hey baby, say hi. Yeah, you're a good bush dog. Yeah, you make it so I don't need guns, hey? Mm-hmm. Cutie pie. So, just a few more mushrooms, but not super good yet, and I'm not seeing too much sign of young growth, so small babies and that kind of stuff. However, this is just the start of the correct weather. I'm pretty sure I can see some up there. You know, as everybody knows, here in BC, we had some of the hottest weather we've seen. And, you know, and then fall kind of snapped in for us here pretty quick. So I'm not too worried yet. I think, there's one. I think it could be good if this weather stays like this. So I don't know if you can see this. This is a bump. This is a bump. It's not the right mushroom, but that's the kind of bumps that you're looking for. Look at that. Here's one. So that's a good sign. I see a couple more bumps, but it's not anything crazy yet. So we'll, you know, I'll give this, like this week, we've got a little more rain. We've got, they're good pursuit. A little more rain and some sunshine, and that will totally trigger this. Cold nights. So for all we know, this mountain's just breathing and just starting to turn itself on to produce mushrooms. There's another bump here. I don't know if you guys can see the size of this. Might not be a pine, but it looks very piney to me. There they are. Yeah. Nice. Just on top of that. So see what happens. I'm pretty sure I can see some up there. I guess from a, you know, a picker's perspective, doing this for a long time, you know, I always have my dogs out here with me, and big time safety, you know, like know where you're going. You know, spots where there's mushrooms, there aren't typically trails, so you know, some places there are, but know where you're going, tell someone where you're going, someone you trust, and you know, make sure you're just being safe out here, because we get mushroom pickers lost. Some make it back and some don't. And it's sad because, you know, we're all out here just having a good time to enjoy Mother Nature and the fruits of, you know, what she's giving us. And it's easy to, you know, find a good patch of mushrooms and then get distracted and lose your way. So here, I've got about 6 mushrooms grown. You can see. Oh, there's one. One there, one there. There's a big one up there. I love when they look like that. I'm like, I don't know, maybe not even half done this mountain, but you know, there's a lot of area to cover. You know, I've got a decent little bag to take home today to eat, cook. This spot in here, I tend to find more white chanterelles as well mixed in, especially at this time of year. So I'm probably gonna pick some of those and dehydrate them and keep them. I like to give mushrooms away as, you know, little gifts and thank yous to people for stuff, and to family for Christmas presents, and kind of, you know, a little something from BC here. So that's these right here. They're a little bit waterlogged, but for me, I don't care. I'm not selling those. I'm gonna eat them. So, I lost my knife. Any pickers out, you know, watching this know all about losing knives. But there's a good chance it's right down where I started. Pretty sure I know where I dropped it. Anyways, I'm not gonna pick all the chanterelles either. You know, like take a couple. Leave a couple. It's just, this mountain just doesn't produce, I mean, it does produce really well, but you just kind of take what you need. Oh, here's a couple nice chanterelles. These ones look a little bit better. Yeah, that's great. Take all this stuff home with me tonight, today. After this, I'm gonna go and try to catch a pink salmon for the puppers. Yeah, see, so there's like certain spots here where, you know, you can go from one type of mushroom to the next. This is a beautiful mushroom right here. Look at this. White chanterelles. They're very tasty. They're not, they don't have a strong flavor, but they're really nice. You can see some more over there. I'll leave that one in the ground. A couple things that I look for with, what's going on? With pine mushrooms is, this mushroom right here too. One, nighttime lows, so nighttime low temperatures. Early in the year, like if we're starting to get the right kind of weather, I'll come out and look at the huckleberries. So that's these plants here. There's no berries on them anymore, but I'll come out here earlier, and you know, some people might believe this or not, but in some areas I pick, if the huckleberries are plentiful, tasty, big huckleberries, then then the conditions are on the right track for a good pine mushroom season. And that's just a bit based on water. And so nighttime low temperatures, obviously precipitation, but I like to use natural indicators of my season. So one being the huckleberry growth, two being there's a plant out here, I'm not even 100% sure what it's called. I think it's called a candy cane plant or something along those lines. When I see one, I'll show you guys. I've seen a few already today. Is you look around that plant, and literally you can find pine mushrooms right within a small radius of that plant. So like for instance right here, I got like 1, 2, 3, there's a whole bunch of them all through here. For me, that's a really exciting sign. So start looking around that plant and look at that. There's a little baby in there, and there's another one. So I'll keep those buried. But literally, around this plant, all there, for some reason, pine mushrooms grow near it. Giving away some secrets, but like, let's see. Checking moss, that's another really key thing to do. So like here, this is all moss, different types of moss and smaller plant. You don't rip the ground up looking for pine mushrooms and this kind of stuff. All you do, you take the palm of your hand flat and you just press on the ground in an area that you think could hold some pine mushrooms. And if they're there, you're gonna feel a bump, like a hard bump, and you don't need to push super hard. You just push enough that you feel a little bump, and then you check it. Just poke your finger through the moss and see if there's a mushroom there. A lot of mushrooms go unturned until they're older and fully exposed in the moss. Well, there's a little tiny button chanterelle that was in the moss. You never would have seen that. But same idea. You just pat along, see what you find. So I found nothing there. I haven't found any pine mushrooms in this general area yet, which is okay. I mean, they do come here, but they're just not here yet. Well, I think I'm gonna call it. The other part I like is just sitting in the woods. Come here. And usually I bring a little snack. I have an apple with me. So, okay. So have an apple and just enjoy being able to do this. And good exercise for the dogs. Hey, what do you think? Yeah? We all had a good day. Okay? Yeah. That's it. That's a first fall pine mushroom picking trip to show you guys. And hopefully I'll be able to get out in about a week from now and see if this ramps up in here or not. Otherwise, I head to a completely different area. So be safe out there, and I hope everybody has a good season foraging and full baskets. On my knife. So you know your sense of direction pretty good. Do a full loop of the mountain. Find your knife.